So this one came across my threshold. This one was interesting. This is Schoenfeld and Contreras, a few other people that I don't know. A study about whether or not you really need to do lots and lots of volume. So it's testing the response about whether volume and strength gains and hypertrophy gains are correlated. It's an interesting study because it tests one rep maxes at the beginning and at the end, and it also tests muscle volume at the beginning, at the end, and it found out some interesting things. So let me describe it briefly. What they did is they took a bunch of bros, it's always bros, and they had them do one set per exercise, three sets per exercise, five sets per exercise. And it's a reasonable program. It's not what I would program necessarily for a novice, but it's a reasonable program. They did them to failure. Uh, and if you got to 12 reps and you hadn't failed yet, they would add weight for the next time. Not sure if they raised the weight the next time or if it was in that session, but anyway. So if you did well, you would increase. Well, all right. The cool stuff is the results. Okay. For squat, run, one rep max, they both got about as strong. For bench, one rep max, there was no difference from the one set to the five set group. For endurance, there was no difference. For bicep thickness, higher volume made the biceps get bigger. For tricep, there wasn't a difference. For mid thigh and for lateral thigh, it got bigger uh, when you did five sets. Well, what can you conclude from that? I mean, there's a couple of interesting things in the data, but what can you conclude? I don't know. But one thing you can conclude is that if your time is short, your coach or you, if you're doing it yourself, you could just program a heavy set and you'd be okay. I don't know that it would be optimal over the long term, but if you're really, really busy, go in the gym, do one set, close to failure, rack it, go home. I believe that Hambrick and Reynolds recommended this on the podcast, the Barbell Logic podcast, a while back. So it's good to know that their approach seemed to be correct. If you want all the hypertrophy, you probably need to add in the volume. Note that this study is probably, you would count them as novices. So for highly trained people, I don't know that you can generalize these results for highly trained resistance athletes. I don't know. But it won't be so bad if you're very, very busy. Just don't stop training. Just go in, do a little bit of work. It'll be okay. You'll keep your gains. You might actually gain some gains.